Welcome to the Friday devotion from Wisconsin Lutheran Chapel and Student Center. Today, I want to talk to you about Psalm 32, verse 1. It says this: "Blessed is the one whose transgressions are forgiven, whose sins are covered." There's a saying that sometimes there's a sermon in the tenses. And basically what it means is that sometimes there's something in just the most basic elements of grammar that have great significance for meaning. And the same thing is true for this first verse in Psalm 32. The one whose transgressions are forgiven is a participle. And if you remember from way back probably, that participles are verbs turned into nouns. It is now a person or a thing particularly defined by a certain action. And what David calls us to realize is that we are these people particularly defined by what God has done for us. Another example would be in the New Testament. Jesus is called the coming one. And that participle defines what he was going to do. He was going to come. And it takes on the form of like a title, a name, something which so defines someone that it is how they're known. And David says, "Call yourself transgressions forgiven. I am sins covered." And he says, "Blessed is the one whose name is transgression forgiven, sins covered." The word for blessed is the same one that then Jesus uses in the New Testament in the Beatitudes. Blessed are they. And the idea of that blessedness or that happiness is that someone has been shown special favor. And because others recognize the special favor given to a person, that then they esteem them more highly and they consider them elevated above the normal cut of human beings. So in this first verse, David is saying, consider yourselves and one another, all those whose sins have been forgiven, all those whose transgressions are forgiven. Consider them specially blessed from God. And that is what we are. In Christ, in the forgiveness that He has given us, God has chosen us and marked us out as particularly blessed in this world. And that is the way that David and our God would have us see ourselves and one another. This thing that God has done for us in Christ should redefine us entirely. No longer is our self-image based upon the things that we do or accomplish in this life, but our particular favor is shown in this. And I'm going to share just the Hebrew because it's fun. The Hebrew is Nisui Pesha, Kisui Chata. And so as you go about your weekend, you can introduce yourself as Nisui Pesha, transgressions forgiven, or Kisui Chata, sin forgiven, covered. And I hope that that is the way you see yourself and one another. God be with you this weekend, and thanks for joining us.